lot of doctors do, like if you present with obesity, they will often say, oh, lose weight. Like they hear a lot of the eat less, move more, but PMOS is so much more than anything to do with that. You can have PMOS regardless of your weight.
Right. Okay.
So you can have it.
Yeah.
You can have it at any size. You can have it at any size. You can have insulin resistance at any size. Yes, weight can exacerbate symptoms for some people, but not for everyone. And losing weight doesn't guarantee your symptoms will improve either. Because you don't know what's driving. You don't know what's driving your symptoms. And that's what you need to investigate.
Welcome to the 30-something Shift podcast, the podcast where I support women in their 30s move through the real shifts in life that shape our well-being. I'm Liv, a menstrual cycle, fertility and pregnancy yoga teacher. Here we explore our cycles, fertility, conception and pregnancy through yoga, meditation and real conversations. Today we're welcoming Amy of the PCOS Hub to the 30-something Shift podcast. This episode is such a great insight into PCOS. So Amy's a PCOS nutritionist. She gives you tips and tricks and genuine evidence-based advice that will help support you if you're newly diagnosed or you're wanting to get diagnosed or you've even been diagnosed for years and are overwhelmed with all the information that you get. We also discuss the new change, so it's changed to PMOS. Amy gives her opinion on that, what it means for the condition and for women with it in the future. This episode is a must watch, must listen to. So let's welcome Amy to the show.
Hi Amy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It was so nice chatting offline beforehand.
It was. So yeah, do you just want to start just telling us a little bit about your background and how you got working with PCOS?
Yeah, so for those who don't know me, my name is Amy. I am a nutritionist who specializes in PCOS. I'm based in Western Australia, but I have an online clinic. As you can tell from my accent, I'm not from here. Well, I hope I don't have an Aussie accent. I am from Ireland, but the reason I got into this space was because maybe over a decade ago, I was diagnosed with PCOS myself. And that kind of opened the gates of diet and lifestyle and the changes and the impact it had on my PCOS. And then I went back to uni and did nutrition and dietetics, and that's where it led me to here today.
Oh, amazing, yeah. Okay, so I just want to start with the basics because I feel like it's something we've probably all heard of, we know what it stands for. If you could kind of just explain what it is and what it's like living with it.
Yep, so PCOS, it stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, but recently, back in May, it's actually changed the name. So I don't know if you've heard, did you hear that the name has been changed? Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister. So it's polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. So PMOS. And so this has been like years in the making. And the reason kind of for the name change is because it wasn't reflecting the condition, what people are experiencing. So I probably, through the podcast, I will probably go through both names, PMOS and PCOS, because I'm personally still trying to get used to the name. And it is a bit of a tongue twister, so apologies if I am cutting through the both of them. So it's basically, it's an endocrine and metabolic disorder. About 1 in 8 people worldwide actually have it. So to be diagnosed with PMOS, you do have to meet what we call a Rotterdam criteria. So it's 2 out of 3 features. So for the first feature, you have to have irregular cycles or have no menstrual period at all. It's usually around fewer than 8 to 9 a year. Yeah, and then the second feature is you have high androgens. So that can be done through a blood test, or it can be physical features like some women have severe acne, some women experience hair loss, and then some women experience like excess hair growth. And then the third one is polycystic ovaries on an ultrasound. With the polycystic ovaries, what they need to see is about 20 follicles in an ovary, or the ovarian volume is about 10 mils. greater than 10 mils. And recently, back in 2023, they did add what we call AMH. So that's anti-Müllerian hormone. So that is a blood test that can be done in replace of an ultrasound. But if you were to meet the two features, say like the irregular periods, and you had high androgens, you don't need an ultrasound to be diagnosed with PMOS, and you don't need the AMH test. And the AMH test is not to be done in adolescents either. But that has been added since 2023. So I think it's important to mention in case people haven't been tested or they have, and a bit confusion about that, because I don't think it's been done across the board. Yeah. So, but the biggest thing is that before you're diagnosed with PMOS is basically you have to have other conditions ruled out first, which can be a bit of a process because a lot of symptoms can overlap. You could be hopping through between doctors and stuff, and it can get very messy. But if you have irregular periods or you have high androgens, then you can be diagnosed with PMOS.
Yeah. You said that's worldwide diagnosis kind of process.
Yes, that's the one that the international guidelines recommend to follow. It's called the Rotterdam criteria. And it's only in 2023 that they added the AMH blood test. But if you have the first two, you don't need an AMH blood test, or you don't need an ultrasound. But it can be done in replace of an ultrasound, because some people might find that a bit invasive, or it costs money as well. It depends where you are in the world if you have to pay or not. Whereas AMH is like a simple blood test.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
How does PCOS affect fertility?
So, yeah. We're doing it for the whole podcast. So PMS is the number one cause of what was called anovulatory infertility. So that is when you're not ovulating every month. So if you're not ovulating every month, you can't, your body's not releasing an egg and you can't fall pregnant. So PMOS is the number one reason for that. The issue is a lot when it comes to the fertility is a lot of women with PMOS are like about 70% are not diagnosed. So what I notice is when someone presents to the doctor, maybe in their late teens or early 20s, saying my cycle is a bit regular, or maybe they're presenting with severe acne and they're being put on the pill. And what happens then, they're getting like a withdrawal bleed every month, and then like it might be clearing the acne, and they stay on the pill for years. And then when they come to decide that I actually want to start a family, they end up coming off the pill, and then all these symptoms start presenting, like all their old symptoms start presenting, and then they're struggling to conceive, and then they're diagnosed with PMOS. So like as we speak, like there's around 70% people don't even know they have it, are walking around. And like a lot of the time what happens is when they're actually trying to conceive, then they're only find out that they actually have, because a lot of the time they're being dismissed, their symptoms aren't being taken seriously. So there's a lot of issues around that is really difficult. But I do want to say, like, women who do have PMOS, it's not all doom and gloom. You can go on to have babies. A lot of women do. It's just the earlier you're diagnosed, the better your outcomes.
Okay, right.
So you have that time. So you have that time to plan. If you're not ovulating, look into why you're not ovulating. Look into how you're going to start ovulating. If you want a family, how many kids do you want? Like, because you're going to have to spread them out, So there's just, you really need to start thinking, because it can be quite confronting when you're starting to try to have kids and then you're diagnosed with PMOS, because you're literally told, oh, you can't have kids because you have PMOS, and you're in your 30s. It's very confronting, very difficult to deal with, and you're kind of like, where did this even come out of? Whereas if they were taken seriously from all those years ago, and then they're just being put on the pill without the symptoms being investigated early on, they would have been dealing with this.
It sounds like when they're younger, they're being treated for the symptoms rather than they're trying to find out what's causing it. So they're missing that diagnosis by treating the symptoms alone. right? Yeah.
Yes, that's alone. But even when it comes to PMOS symptoms, you kind of are the doctors are kind of treating the symptoms, and hopefully with the new name change, we're kind of looking at it as a whole body approach.
Yeah, rather than just the ovary side of it. It's kind of
Just the ovary side of it, yeah. Because I know a lot of people, like when they're diagnosed, they're just basically focusing on the ovary side of it and basically confronted saying, oh, you won't be able to have kids. But that's not the case at all. It's looking into like what is driving you not ovulating. So there's many reasons why people don't ovulate. Like, is it insulin resistance? Is it the excess androgens? Is it like genetics? There's so many. It's usually a combination. It's never just one thing. And it's looking at what is driving your reasons.
Yeah.
One thing that's made my periods easier is switching to Wooka period pants. As someone who teaches menstrual cycle health and yoga for menstruation, comfort matters to me, and I know it matters to you too. I want to move, rest, and work without constantly having to worry about my period. Wooka reusable period pants are stretchy, they're comfortable, they support you, especially on heavy days. If you'd like to make the switch to Wooka period pants, I've put the link in the show notes.
Nutrition advice around PCOS, because I know sometimes it's a lot about weight loss
Yes.
or weight gain. Sort of, what is like the biggest myth that you'd love to bust today about PCOS nutrition?
How long do you have? Oh, I swear it drives me crazy. Honestly, it drives me crazy. Because like you can make nutrition for PMOS, PCOS, whatever you want to call it at this moment in time. You can make it as complicated as you want to, or you can make it as easy as you want to.
Yeah.
Like honestly, the choice is yours. But when it comes to the research, I say the biggest one is there's no best diet. No one diet that stands out that someone with PMOS should be recommended.
Okay.
So that's the biggest one, because you hear people, it's like, oh, you should do keto, you should do dairy free, you should do carnivore, you should be low fat, you should be high fat. Like this, all this, like if you just put, like when people are diagnosed, they literally like, and the doctor tells them, you know, you should start changing your diet. If you put that into Google, you will have everything pop up. And you can just imagine the confusion with that. It's just like, oh, I need to cut out this, I need to do this, I need to do that. And, you know, it's literally telling you, you need to go on this diet, you need to go on that diet. And that's not the case at all. Like, there's no one best diet, there's no one best macronutrient. So, like, protein, fats, carbs, so high fat, low fat, none of them beats that. As long as food quality is hugely important. Okay. And then, but no best diet. No best diet.
Okay.
So I hope that gives people a bit of a relief. Yeah. Because a lot of the time, people are just told they need to go on this diet and kind of like go on this diet, like go dairy free, go gluten free is very common. Go low fat, go high fat, go low carb. It's a mad one out there.
So if someone's been diagnosed with it recently, what would be the best thing they could do nutrition-wise? Like, obviously, keeping it simple, not trying to Google all these different kind of diets. Is there sort of something they could go to, the best way to start?
There is. So I'd be looking at someone's overall diet quality. And when I look at people's diets, I'm like, oh my God, they're trying so hard. A lot of the time they're being very restrictive and they think less is more because the doctor may have told them to lose weight, which is like eat less, move more kind of mentality. And that's not the case at all. You want to be eating enough of getting the right macro and micronutrients. So when it comes to your macronutrients, protein, fats and carbs, a lot of women do well like on a high-ish protein kind of diet. But when I say that is that they're eating enough protein in their meals. But it's also balanced with their fats and their proteins. So having a balanced plate in front of them and not just having it as one macronutrient, not just having it all protein but just meeting them all and having a balanced plate. I also like to add in stuff. So what is it we can add into your diet? So let's look at your fruit and vegetables. How many fruit and vegetables are you eating a day? Like, are you eating like 1 serve? Well, then how can we get you to eat 2 serves a day?
Yeah.
Then it's the same with like whole grains, nuts and seeds, your healthy fats. So like, are you eating fish every week? If not, so what can we do to add in? It's not about what do we need to take out, it's just what can we do to add in. Or if there's something that needs replacement, like say if you're a big soda lover and you love your Coca-Cola, say. So they're empty calories. So they're not actually giving any nutrients to your body. They're just giving you extra calories. Can you go to Coke Zero instead? Just making simple switches that can actually make a huge difference. But as I said, there's no like diet pattern, just getting the fruits and veggies in, your whole grains, your lean proteins. So like looking at, say you're someone who likes fatty meat, can we switch that to leaner cuts of meat?
Yeah.
So
you
there's
make
a
it
lot
sound so doable and simple,
Do I?
because I think it must be so overwhelming. Like you
It is
say, especially
overwhelming.
if you're googling or you've just been diagnosed and you're kind of hearing all these stereotypes or things that you've heard about the condition before. But
Yeah.
actually, you can simplify it, and it's not all about restriction, because I've been on yo-yo diets like my whole adult
Yeah.
life. And I know about restriction, and I love that mentality of what can we add rather than take away, like, to your diet, but also just your lifestyle, like adding exercise, adding things rather than restriction and taking away. Because you've also
Taking
got to look
away.
after your mental health, right? If you've been
Exactly.
diagnosed with something, and that's also a big part of it. So
And I'm all about people keeping their favorite foods. Like we all have favorite foods. And I don't want to take that. Like you don't have to, like food isn't black and white. It's about your overall dietary pattern. So what you're doing day in, week out. Like if you're eating out once or twice a week, go for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like go for it. It's about overall what you're doing, because with PMOS, this is a life condition. Like what's the point going on a diet for 8 to 12 weeks? What are you going to do when that 8 to 12 weeks ends? Because you're going to go back to your old eating habit because you haven't learned the skills or the knowledge of how to fuel your body correctly.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And like, so that's where yo-yo dieting kind of comes in, isn't it? Because you can do it for a certain amount of time.
So,
but then there's always going to be that moment where you have to go back. And often you go back and it kind of is worse, or you wait quicker because of that. Yeah.
Yes. And like life always gets in the way. And anyone with kids, it's your life is turned upside down. You need to be realistic about your changes. Like I always like to think of it like, what changes can you make on your worst week?
Yeah.
Do you know? So what can you do on your worst week? So mine would be like, basically if my kids are sick, if I'm sick, the whole house is sick, like I could barely move. What are the things that I'm able to do? So it's like keeping it that simple, because they're the things you can actually continue to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah. As you're realistic.
Realistic. Yes, they need to be realistic. People love crazy goals. I'm like, no. Keep it, pull it back. Love goals, make one goal, but once you've like had it realistic and you actually achieve it, don't move on to the next until that's achieved. And that's actually set. It's a habit. It's like brushing your teeth. Make it a habit and don't move on to the next thing until it's a habit.
Yeah.
On this podcast, I talk a lot about listening to your body and slowing down. One of my favourite little rituals in the evening is a cup of Twining Sleep spiced apple and vanilla tea. It literally tastes like warm apple pie and it is so delicious. It gives my body signals that it's time to relax, unwind, and get cozy for the evening. Follow the link in the show notes if you want to try it yourself.
Does exercise kind of come into managing PCOS? Is it kind of a recommendation of exercise or anything?
Yeah, so diet and lifestyle are actually considered first-line treatment. So when it comes to PMOS, and exercise is part of that lifestyle. It's a huge part. You can make exercise, same as diet, as simple or as complicated as you want it. Like seriously, like you probably know yourself, like with being in the space, how crazy exercise can get. But the guidelines are pretty straightforward, just recommending like minimum resistance training. So concentrate on building those muscles just for your long-term health, and for improving your insulin sensitivity, which is a big part of PMOS. So it's just like 2 days a week, and then cardio, like whether swimming, running, walking, whatever you like, then other days a week. It's nothing hectic. It's not, but I know time is a big factor for everyone. What I see a lot is people who are over exercising. It's not the exercise itself, they're actually not fueling their body correctly. So they're trying to exercise more and eat less. So they're getting up the crack of dawn, they're going to the HIIT class, or they're going for a run, they're skipping breakfast, they're having coffee, they're just completely not. And people like to blame the exercise, whereas it's actually not, the 30-minute run they did. It's actually, they're actually not fueling themselves correctly.
Okay.
Like they should. The combination of the two. Some people, would do great. I think everyone with PCOS probably would do great with adding yoga for that stress relief. I don't know if you've spoken about that on your podcast with stress and. Yeah. So people can refer back to those, because like stress is a big component of PMOS. So whatever you can do to have a stress reduction practice, whatever that is for people, is like a huge part of having it in. But I think what is really underestimated, I don't even call it exercise, is just what you do daily. Like, are you someone who works and sit down at a desk like I am every day? Like, I think the issue is just not moving your body throughout the day than actually what exercise, going to an exercise class or going to do an exercise. Is sitting down for 8 hours a day at a desk is a big issue. Not moving your body, getting up and move. So I'd be more concerned about not moving throughout the day than actual what exercise people are doing.
Okay, right. So just
So it's movement, and it's really difficult. Like, I have a desk job as well. It is really difficult when you're working. You're just like, but what I do is I actually have a walking pad. So to break up, and I actually I concentrate quite well on it. It's actually really, really good. I obviously don't do it through calls or anything on a walking pad, but when I have those little breaks, like even 10 minutes, it can, you get your step count up, and it makes the world. It is just moving. Like for those who maybe work in a city or anything, just getting on, like using public transport is just moving your body, getting from A to B. In the shopping centres, taking the stairs instead of elevators. Just how can you incorporate movement into your lifestyle? That makes a huge difference when it comes to PMOS, is just getting the body moving. Like if you have an active job, like if you're like a nurse or something, you're lucky because you're moving around. Or if you're a teacher, you're on your feet most of the day. So it's just unfortunate for us with these desk jobs. It's a bit more difficult and challenging to get a bit creative and move our body a bit more.
We've probably touched on this a bit already. So if the woman's been diagnosed and they're looking into fertility, is there anything like the best route or best habits she can start to do? Obviously, we're going to say moving, looking at her diet. Is there anything else with the fertility she could be looking at?
So I haven't mentioned sleep. And you know what? I would probably do sleep before anything else. It's huge. It's huge. Like, and I think about a third of women with PMOS have like sleep apnea. So they don't even know they have it. So if you're someone who's exhausted every day, like that's not normal. I know a lot of people feel tired, but if you're exhausted every day, that's not normal. If you're getting 8 hours sleep or 8 or 9 hours sleep and you're still exhausted, like that needs to be investigated. You shouldn't be exhausted like after that amount of sleep. If you're someone during the day who's like, I actually need a nap, you need to look further into it. And that affects fertility like massive. It's huge.
I talk about sleep a lot as well, actually. I'm a bit of a sleepy.
Like you just have to make it a priority. Like, I don't care who you are, and this sleep when you're dead needs to go, because it has to be a priority.
And
you
it
have
affects
to protect it.
everything.
Affects
Yeah,
everything, your whole life. Your
yeah,
whole life.
yeah,
But it's
absolutely, yeah,
huge. And a lot of people going through fertility have sleep issues. So it's really important to get that
yeah,
sorted. And like, if someone has sleep issues, I'd be like, let's not even look at your nutrition until we have that sorted, because that has a
mm,
knock-on effect to how you eat, how you feel, how
yeah,
much movement you do. You're not going to move if you're asleep. I'd rather you not exercise and get a nap in if you're not sleeping well.
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
important it
It's always
is.
like the top of the sort
Yes,
of hierarchy, isn't it? It kind of
it is. It really
filters
has to
down
be
from
up
there.
there.
Mm,
Exactly, because it has
yeah,
an, as you said, it affects your whole life. It has a knock-on effect, and
yeah,
it dictates what you eat. And a lot of women, like, if they're wanting to lose weight and they're struggling to lose weight, I'd be like, we need to sort out the sleep first, because most women eat more when they lack of sleep, because your body's craving that energy, and you can't
mm,
override
yeah,
that. No matter what you do, like, it's not a willpower thing. You can't override. Your body will seek whatever energy from food it needs just to
yeah,
get that
yeah,
energy.
mm, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I won't get on a sleep rant because I can do like a whole episode on that. So I'm just going to hold back.
I know the whole thing's be about sleep. Sleep.
So we talked about this, like the name change, because I'm really interested in this because I've seen a lot
Yes.
of things come up about it. I've seen positive things, but I've also seen negative things. So
Yeah.
what do you really think about the name change? Where's it come from? And do you think it's a positive move and it's going to help? Or what do you think?
I'm hopeful. Yeah. Like, I'm delighted with the name change. Like, everyone, I think anyone you speak to, like, wants a name change. It's just like, oh, can we not just focus solely on the ovaries? Like, we know it's
Mhm.
a whole body condition. It affects, like,
Yeah.
your mental health. It's just, it's metabolic. It affects your hormones. As I said, like, you've increased risk of, not like a lot many people know, when they have PMOS, they increase risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease.
Wow.
So yeah, um,
Mm,
sleep issues, mental health issues. So your anxiety and your depression, like, it
mm,
affects your whole body. And I think that's
yeah.
what with the new name, that's what they were trying to focus on, is make the switch to suit the condition better, and kind of
Yeah.
see it as a whole condition, which I'm hopeful for. Like, I read, like, with the name change, that actually came from people with PMOS and a few clinicians. So the majority was from people with PMOS. So they came up with the name, which I thought was great. So it was like
Mm,
surveys done around the world. One of the organizations actually in Britain was leading it. Um,
mm,
I I really like the name. I'm still trying to get used to it though.
yeah.
My issue is like, with the name change, like, people are still being dismissed. 70% of people are still not diagnosed. People are
Mm,
still told to eat less, move more. Like, the only thing that has changed is the name.
mm,
But in saying that, a lot of people are saying this is needed for a knock-on effect with, the medical system. But I just expect more, like, more funding for research, more everything, because I think a lot of
mm,
women with PMOS have been let down a lot, and
mm,
it's quite hard to get your hopes up. You're just like, oh,
yeah.
it's quite
Mm,
hard to get your hopes up. But what I was quite impressed with was the worldwide media. Like, it was everywhere. Like, I saw it was
yeah.
in UK news, I saw it was in Australia news, I saw it was in I saw it everywhere. Like, all the
Mhm.
big news outlets. Like, oh, that's never happened before.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know? So I was quite impressed with that. And I was like, okay, maybe this is needed, but I want more. You know, the way it comes with women's health, you're just like, everything is just a
yes.
drag, and you just want
Yeah.
more. And I hope, and I'm kind of waiting until the 2028 guidelines to come out, because that's
Mm,
when, in those guidelines, the name change be updated. I'm like, okay, are they going to include new testing for, like, insulin resistance? Because that's a huge component of it.
mm,
Are, like, what change are they just going to announce the name change in that? And then doctors are supposed to follow it. Like, I know there is an
mm,
implementation plan as well. There's like 8
mhm,
steps, and it looks great, it sounds great, But I'm like, who is responsible for this? Who's responsible for implementing? Who's responsible? There's no information around any of that. And so I'm like, oh, looks great on paper, but who? Who's going to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great start. And I think
It is.
it's going to raise awareness, but obviously it's still got a way to go. You know, like
Huge way to go. And like, I personally don't think you need a name change to make changes, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm delighted. I do really like the name though.
Yes. It's a positive change. I don't want to put a negative spin on it, but I worry sometimes if we're focusing on the fact the name has changed and maybe we're shadowing over the fact nothing else.
The real problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it kind of masking
the masking? Yes, which happens a lot in women's health.
Yeah, it does. There's some scary statistics out there. I've been looking into women's health, the funding, and it's
shocking.
We've got a long way to go. Yeah,
we do
definitely. Okay, thank you so much. It's been so interesting to learn about all this. Is there anything else you wanted to cover today that you haven't yet? Anyone?
Good question. Anything else to cover? I suppose just to leave people with, like, it's not all doom and gloom. It is a lifelong condition, but you can manage it. With diet and lifestyle, it has to be part of your treatment plan. You can't, to live like a long, healthy life, it just has to be part of it. So just start making changes, small, little by little, of what you can do and what you can see yourself doing long term. Like what you can see yourself doing, when you're going on holidays, when you're with family, what do you see yourself doing? So there's no point going on a diet and and it's just see what you can see yourself doing, pretty much. And there is risks and there is complications. So the sooner you get a diagnosis, the better. So if you, like women with PMOS, know there's something wrong. And often they get like dismissed. Like if your doctor is dismissing it, find a new doctor. Don't settle. If you're not getting the answers, just keep pushing. Like, because it is quite common, and it is in the research, that women have to see like multiple doctors before they actually get a diagnosis.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, and it can take up to, I think the research is about 2 years on average. So some people are even longer. Some people are like 5, but on average is about 2 years.
Yeah.
Like in the grand scheme of things, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So the better someone can educate themselves, like the better, because a lot of doctors do, like if you present with obesity, they will often say, oh, lose weight. Like they hear a lot of the eat less, move more, but PMOS is so much more than anything to do with that. You can have PMOS regardless of your weight.
Right. Okay.
So you can have it. Yeah. You can have it at any size. You can have insulin resistance at any size. Yes, weight can exacerbate symptoms for some people, but not for everyone.
Right. Okay.
And losing weight doesn't guarantee your symptoms will improve either. Because you don't know what's driving. You don't know what's driving your symptoms, and that's what you need to investigate. And if you want a family, the sooner you know, the better. The sooner you can plan, the better. Are you ovulating? If you are, brilliant. That's what you need. If you're not ovulating, look into why you're not ovulating. And that can be a number of factors that I mentioned earlier. Just always ask why. And be your best advocate. That's the main thing. You have to, like, the more knowledge you have, the better. Get in the driver's seat of your health. It's huge. It's number one, because you will come up against setbacks. We all have. We all always do. But hopefully there's change on the way. But you have to get in the driver's seat.
Absolutely. Yeah. And where can people find you and work with you if they want to know more?
So if you want to know more, I suppose my best place, I'm always on Instagram. So you can find me at PCOS.nutritionist.amy. I haven't changed my name yet to reflect the new name. I don't even know when I'll do that. Maybe when the new guidelines come out. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. But yeah, that's probably the best place you can find me.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put that in the show notes as well so I can find you. Thank you so much today. It's been great.
Oh, no problem at all.
Take care.
Bye.
I'll stop recording and just hang fire until that's
That's all
uploaded.
good.
Yeah.